A little over a year ago, I did a video entitled 5 Big Veiny Ones. And since there are a lot more big veiny ones in my life right now, I decided it's time to visit the topic again. So join me with a tasty beverage of your choice close to hand while we take a look at 11 big veiny ones. And I'm happy to take this opportunity to send out a special thanks to Brenda, who sent me a super thanks this week. Your contributions make a lot of things possible for this channel, and they are deeply appreciated. So thank you very much. And we've got a weird kind of assortment about who's in bloom this week. First up is one of my phalaenopsis orchids, and it's doing very well. This one has been in my collection for a very long time, and those blooms are kind of funky, but I think they're neat. Yeah, I love it when my orchids bloom. Next up, that's in bloom, is one of my Haworthia. And this is Haworthia fasciata species, and let's see if I can do this. And the blooms, let's see if I can do this now. Block me, show bloom. There we go. They're very neat. There'll be some close-ups, but they're long trumpet shape. The transition from that peach color to the green on the blossoms is very cool. And the plant is very neat in and of itself. So yeah, very neat. And one more for real succulent blooming this week is another Haworthia. This is also a fasciata species. And these blooms are just cool. I will get some close-ups of them too, but these are very pretty plants, very low-key, Haworthia and Gasteria and others of that ilk. Yeah, very cool. And just so the people who only come here for the Hoya information don't change channel, also blooming this week is Hoya nicholsoniae, formerly known as hellwigiana. And let's see if I can. Those blossoms are very pretty. They're overall a very pale yellow-green, reflexive corollas, ivory-colored coronas, and there is a scent. I can't put my finger on what it is. It's not unpleasant. Kind of like fresh cut grass or something herbally in a nice way. Beautiful leaves, nice glossy look to them. And when this one gets a lot of sun, or a lot of light or sun, it sun stresses to this incredible mahogany color. But he's not getting enough light from where he's living now. So, but I think these leaves are gorgeous. So I'm kind of happy with that anyway. So yeah, that's who's in bloom this week. And one of the viewers asked about my Lithops, and they're doing very, very well. Most of them successfully split and doubled. And the outer leaves are just starting to dry back. So that's very neat. There were a few casualties, of course, but on the whole, my mesems, and mesems covers that whole group of genera, including what is that again? Let me see if I can read it correctly. Argyroderma, Lithops, and a few others. So they've done very well. Those little beast boys are quite neat. Very pretty. Love the pattern on top. So that's quite neat. I've got about 30 of them now because I can pack my windowsills with them, and they live right in the window. in my southeast and southwest facing windows. And I water them twice a month on the 1st and the 15th, and they've just been fun. Fairly inexpensive, easy to grow. You know, you could have these in your office at work and they'd be okay there. So yeah, so that's how the Lithops are doing. And the first big veiny one up today is everyone's favorite. This is Hoya finlaysonii. Now, Hoya finlaysonii is native to the Kingdom of Brunei, to Kalimantan and Sumatra in Indonesia, to Malaya, Sabah, and Sarawak in Malaysia, to Singapore and Thailand. And the note on the herbarium sheet says Singapore, and that's at the very tip of the Malaysian peninsula. It was first published in 1834 in Contributions to the Botany of India by Robert Wright. And I've had this since 2021. And it's been let's just say it's been a somewhat reluctant grower. But this past month or so, it's put out this vine, which I found had snuck out the back of the grow shelf and was growing up the wall. It took a little bit of finagling to do, but there's a peduncle on there. So yeah, and there's some new leaves. So apparently he's gotten settled and established. The leaves are, of course, just beautiful. I mean, that's one of the reasons we love finlaysonii, that they're very cool. The back of the leaves kind of look like that. I run hot and cold. Oh, there's another peduncle. Okay. I run hot and cold on this one, depending upon how it's growing, but for the most part, it's been no trouble. I have it in pond and a self-watering pot, and for as large as this plant is, there's very few roots coming out. I would have expected a huge root ball, but it has not done that. So it's a really easy plant to take care of. It's not a rampant grower, but it's fun, it's beautiful, it's usually really easy to find and usually reasonably priced as well. So yeah, I like this one. I like the look of those leaves, and you know, that's okay. Yeah, I got this one so long ago, I didn't even jot down who the seller was. So all I can tell you is it's Hoya finlaysonii. The leaves are credit card rigid. Don't try and, don't do that thing. So yeah, this is Hoya finlaysonii. Next up has become a real favorite. It's fairly new. It's been here a little over a year. And this is Hoya vitellinoides. Now, vitellinoides is native to Java and Sumatra in Indonesia. It was originally found in Java and first published in 1950 in Bloemia, Tijdschrift voor de Systematiek aan de Geografie der Planten, a journal of plant taxonomy and plant geography by Renier Cornelius Bachwitzen van der Brink. And I saw a picture of the leaves, but I didn't have anything that told me what the scale was. So yeah, these leaves, number one, they're gorgeous. I mean, that's just really, you want to talk about big veiny one. They're very, very pretty. So I had no idea of what I was getting into in terms of the size of these leaves. But this one that decided to grow through the trellis is 8.5 inches or about 21.5 centimeters long. So that's a good sized leaf. They're firm, and everybody likes something that's big and veiny and firm. A nice curl of them. They're smooth on the top. There's a little bit of pubescence on the bottom. And this one has just, other than like that leaf deciding to grow up inside there, it's young enough. I might be able to back that out. Ooh, I should do that. I'll do that later, not now, in case it goes badly. But they're very pretty. They're very, very large. I just think that's just so neat. And of course, I'll put close-ups over on the side. But yeah, even the back side of the leaves are very pretty. There's a recessed central rib. The veins are very slightly recessed, but you almost wouldn't notice. And this is very cool. Whose blossom is that? This one hasn't bloomed for me yet. Anyway, it's been really easy. It lives in my south, about 6 to 8 inches, which is, let's say, 15 centimeters to 20 centimeters pulled back from my southeast facing window. So it gets a good amount of early morning sun, and it seems to like it there. Yes, there's new growth on this vine. And is there? Am I lying? No, there's new growth on that vine. And there's a new leaf coming in down here. So yeah, very pretty. Before you order this, know that the leaves are going to be very good sized, but they're very, very pretty. Yeah. This one came from Plants Wake You Up, and this is Hoya vitellinoides. Another big veiny one that was featured in the first episode is my Hoya callistophylla. Now, Hoya callistophylla is native to the island of Borneo, which means the Kingdom of Brunei, Kalimantan in Indonesia, and Sabah and Sarawak in Malaysia. And it was first collected in Nabawan in Sabah in Malaysia, and was published in 2000 in Fraterna by Ted Green. And this one was pokey at first, but it has since decided that it seems to like pond and self-watering. There's a few roots coming out the bottom, but not much for the foliar mass of the plant. And so it's in pond and self-watering, and I moved it so that it's now 8 to 10 inches, which is 20 to 25 and a half centimeters under the grow lights. And it seems to like that spot. It's this vine here is all new. It's putting out leaves. It's bloomed frequently. Matter of fact, there's nothing in bloom now, but there's all kinds of debris from blooms. This was a little pokey at first too, but once it settled in, that's just a really, really pretty callistophylla. I'm not taking any credit for it. The plant did all the heavy lifting, but man, when you think of big veiny ones, you think callistophylla, or at least that's on the list. This one I've had since November of 2021, and it came from the Lawson Plant Company on Etsy. I don't know if they're still selling, but it was my first foray into something kind of exotic. The leaves are credit card rigid. They will snap if you fold them. So again, don't do that stupid thing. And yeah, a little bit of patience and your callistophylla will produce for you. I was going to say put out, but it's too cheap a joke. Not that I'm above a cheap joke, but I'm doing a video called 11 Big Veiny Ones, so not above a cheap joke. Anyway, This is Hoya callistophylla. Next up, I have a Hoya I purchased as species Indonesia. Now, Indonesia is a really big place, so I can't at this point tell you exactly where it's from. But Indonesia ranges from Sumatra, Java, Kalimantan on the island of Borneo, Bali, Sulawesi, the Lesser Sunda Islands, the Banda Arc, and Papua. So that's a lot of geography. But this has turned into a very, very pretty plant. When it first arrived, and I should have pictures of that, I was not impressed. You know, it was okay, it was fine. It had a little bit of splash, but the leaves were, let's see if I can do this. The leaves were like that when it arrived. This one hiding down here. And they've turned into these. This one is from tip to petiole, 7.5 inches or 19 centimeters. So that's a good sized leaf. The veining is a little subtle, but it is there. The underside of the leaves are like that. And I'm happy with this one. Again, I didn't expect the leaves to be this big, and I've got to sneak one out of there. He's got long, I'll take care of that later. I did read something that Hoya species Indonesia had been classified as Hoya danumensis subspecies amari. But I'm still not convinced that that's what this is, and it hasn't bloomed, so I can't really verify that one way or the other. So for right now, I'm leaving it as Hoya species Indonesia. But yeah, it's pretty. The leaves are big. The leaves are veiny. There's a little bit of splash. What's not to like in a plant like that? This one came from Hala Hoya on Etsy, and this is Hoya species Indonesia. And the next big veiny one is this one. And this is Hoya species Kalimantan UT158. And this was in the first big veiny one video, but I'm betting it didn't look like this. It was probably on the way to this, but yeah. So this is perhaps a callistophylla. It's still not determined yet, or at least they haven't sent me the memo, and I haven't found anything about that. But it is very, very pretty. I can see how it could become classified as a callistophylla. And callistophylla is native to Indonesia, to Kalimantan, Kalteng. And yes, it's just been, from the very beginning, from the time it arrived, it just started growing. And it's just been y'all want a big veiny one that's a grower. So this has absolutely fulfilled its brief. There's another cheap joke there, and I'm not going to go for it. But it's just grown really, really well. I should have a picture of the blooms. It has bloomed for me on several occasions. They're just, that's just beautiful. The bigger leaves down here are from petiole to tip, somewhere around 8.5 inches or 21.5 centimeters. So yeah, if you're looking for a big veiny one, this one, if you're looking for a big veiny one, this one hasn't disappointed. It grew really easy. It's not terribly fussy. The leaves are just beautiful, and it bloomed for me. So yeah, this could satisfy your need for a big veiny one. This is Hoya species Kalimantan UT158. This next one has kind of surprised me, but in a very good way. This is Hoya species Chang forest. And I've shown this a couple of times. I think for a leaf, that's really, really pretty. The underside looks like that. Yeah, I know this originally, not this particular plant, but Chang forest came out of A.H. Hoyas in Ratchaburi, Thailand. I don't know if this plant is native to that province in Thailand or if they found it someplace else, but it has just done a beautiful job. The leaves are this beautiful dark green color. Very nice veins in them. Long, beautiful long leaves. They are on the lower end of firm. There's some flexibility to them. That's a fairly new one, but there's some flexibility. You still don't do that stupid thing, but they're very pretty. This one took a little while to get going. And yeah, there's a good healthy root mass down there. Might have to address that soon. And the leaves are just very, very pretty. It's kind of, I like these kind of leaves. I like the look of these. And there'll be some close-ups because they're nice and shiny on the top and on the bottom. And I don't know if that veining is showing up really well, but yeah, this is growing on a grow shelf. It's in self-watering and pond, and it's, 10 or so inches below the grow light, and it's just been plugging right along. Is that? Oh, there might be a peduncle coming in here. So, there's 2. Very interesting. 3, 4. I wonder if it bloomed and I missed it. Always a possibility. 5. Down in there. That's the peduncle, 1 of 5. So yeah, if you're looking for something that has some of the neat characteristics of finlaysonii and callistophylla or species Kalimantan, but just a different approach to the leaves, yeah. This is very cool. This is Hoya species Chang forest. And this next one has become something of a troublemaker, and you might remember him from the first video. This is Hoya globulosa. Now, globulosa is native to Bangladesh, to Yunnan, through Guangdong and the Hainan Island in China, in Andaman and Nicobar Islands and Assam in India, and Jammu and Kashmir in India, to Laos and Vietnam. And it was first published in 1882 in Gardener's Chronicle by Joseph Dalton Hooker. And the notes on the herbarium sheet say Reg Himal. So I don't know which end of the Himal reg this was found in, but it's very pretty. I mean, those are just beautiful. They are very cool. They are very slightly pubescent on the top. And let's do this one up here. Insanely pubescent on the bottom. And I do mean insanely. It's like soft velvet. And they are, I mean, that's just beautiful. The new leaves are just staggering. The old leaves ain't bad either. You know, there's some lookers. The reason I said this one's a troublemaker is that when I went to fetch it to have his time on camera, this vine starting here and moving up and around had grown up the back of the plant shelf, had found my lacunosa and had climbed up the lacunosa and up out the top of the plant shelf. And that's probably 4 feet, which is 122 centimeters. So yeah, I had it in a net pot with bark and sag in a cover pot, and it did okay. It was fine. It was a minimum requirements, and it did okay. Then I moved it to pond and self-watering, and I mean, I have no one to blame for this insane growth but me. But it loves that setup. Well, a good part of it is under a grow light. Some of the rest of it is under a grow light that's, almost a meter above it. And it's just been growing up a storm this last couple months. I had to carefully try and back those out of the gridding on the grow shelf. But yeah, this is just, be prepared. The internodal spacing is quite long. So, I mean, down here on these vines, it's maybe 8 to 10 inches. Up here, it's a good foot. I think that these are peduncles. I'm hoping they are. I don't think this has bloomed for me yet. What do my notes say? Nope, it hasn't bloomed for me yet. It's really, oh, did you get bumped? Oh, you did, I'm sorry. Okay, maybe that's better. It's no trouble, it's no difficulty. You get beautiful blooms. They are really amazing to touch. Yeah, it's like the top of the leaves are smooth and glossy. I mean, I'm sure I can see some pubescence on them, but the underside, it's like good velvet, not the cheap stuff, the good velvet. So yeah, this one has done very well for me, especially in the last year since this move. It likes that a whole lot. This one I've had since September of 2022, came from Plants Wake You Up, and this is Hoya globulosa. a new one to the big veiny Hoyas video scene is my Hoya meredithii. Now, Hoya meredithii is native to the island of Borneo, which is the Kingdom of Brunei, Kalimantan in Indonesia, and Sabah and Sarawak in Malaysia. And it was first collected in Bau in Sarawak, Malaysia, and published in 1988 in Phytologia, designed to expedite botanical publication by Ted Green. And I gotta make sure this one's very top heavy, but those leaves are just just gorgeous. This one grew very quickly for me and got up into the grow lights. So there's a little bit of scorching up near the top, but oh my goodness, look at that. That's just, that's just beautiful. Now the big leaf I just showed you, I have to rework the trellis because this has gotten very top heavy. From petiole to tip is about 8 1/4 or 21 centimeters, and side to side, behave, is about 5 1/2 or 14 centimeters. Yeah, you're going to have to think architecture when it comes to trellising. And I'm going to have, I put in a make-do trellis rather than one of my good ones, and it grew so fast that I'm going to have to, once it gets done blooming, because it's getting ready to bloom up there, and I think I have pictures of the blooms I can put in, but this is just, I mean, how can you not like a plant like this? I can't say enough good things. It was very easy to grow. It really hasn't been too much difficulty. My problem has been finding a good space for it to live now that it's turned into that, and keeping on top of the watering, because you got a bunch of leaves this size, they're going to require some moisture to keep them happy. But this is really, really pretty. I do like this. I ordered this plant in December of 2022, and I ordered it without checking the weather forecast, and it got down to 20 degrees for the next 3 or 4 days while it traveled. Fortunately, it didn't have to travel far, and it seems to have survived it, but man, oh man. Gave me a few sleepless days, but it's very pretty, very cool. Yeah, and as I said, be prepared to create some architecture to support something like this, but this is great. This is Hoya meredithii, and it came from Taproot Nurseries on Etsy. We have another one that was in the first Big Veiny Ones video, and this is Hoya meredithii. Now, it's native to the Philippines, and it was first collected on Mindoro Island at a low altitude by E.D. Merrill, and so it was named after him, and published in 1904 in Fragmenta Florae Philippinae by Friedrich Richard Rudolf Schlechter. And this one is a good Hoya. I got it, and I should have pictures. No, I don't have pictures of what it was like when it first arrived, and I should have taken some, because it just came with a few basic leaves, nothing fancy. And I settled it into pond and self-watering, and it's got moisture, but it's got a good root structure. And it bloomed right away. Like within 3 months, I had blooms on it. The leaves are very pretty, very veiny, and large enough to fit the qualifications for this video. That large leaf is 5 centimeters, 5 inches, or almost 13 centimeters petiole to tip, and 2 3/4 inches, or 7 centimeters wide. It blooms regularly. As you can see, it's at the end of it, but there's 1, 2, 3 peduncles that have just bloomed recently. And I should have pictures of the blooms. They're very pretty. They're this very interesting kind of star-shaped yellow bloom. Very nice. This one has grown really well. It's not demanding. It lives on the grow shelf. It's probably, what did I say? I can't remember all these. I have math phobia. It's about 30 centimeters or a foot underneath the grow light. As you can see, it will pick up a little bit of sun stress in there, but it's a really good grower. The internodal spacing is not outlandish. This one has come up and gone around a few times. It's sending out a new vine in there. That's the end of it here. It's just been no issues, no trauma, no drama, no problems. I can't, this is a good Hoya. Well behaved, very polite, won't cause you any difficulties. And yeah, I've had this one since January of 2023, and this came from TQ Hoyas on Etsy. Oh, and it's Hoya meredithii. Another big veiny one that I'm really, really pleased with is Hoya deykeae. Now, Hoya deykeae was native to Sumatra in Indonesia, and it was collected in 1990 by R. van Dokelaar and D. Janink, and published in 2000 in Fraterna by Ted Green. And it was named in honor of deykeae van Dokelaar. I did not expect to like this plant as much as I did. When I ordered it, I wasn't sure. I'm not a big fan of Hoya carry with that whole heart-shaped leaf thing. I know some people are, but I'm not. And this kind of has sort of that vibe, but these leaves are just far more interesting, far prettier. That's just beautiful. There's lovely, lovely dark green color, slightly raised veins, recessed central rib. And this one, pay attention, Mona, this one has just been doing so well for me. It's just beautiful. It's growing on the grow shelves. At this point, it's maybe only 6 inches, or someday I'll get better with this whole metric thing when we finally, about 15 centimeters. Underneath the grow light, it's in a self-watering pot, and it seems to really appreciate that. And it is just a thing of beauty. I love the leaves. The leaves are very firm, like credit card firm. You're not going to try and do that stupidness with these. This one in particular is 3.5 or 9 centimeters wide, and petiole to tip is about 5.5 or 14 centimeters. I think this is just the coolest. The color, the growth, it's been no trouble. The flat mites did pester it a little bit, but not appreciably so. I've had no issues with it. It has tolerated a bit of underwatering, shall we say. But other than that, it's just a very neat plant. Just very, very cool. I'm very happy with this one. No complaints at all. Is that a peduncle? I don't think it's bloomed. Oh, it has bloomed. I've got pictures of blooms. Maybe they're over here. Maybe you've already seen them. Who knows what future me will do. But yeah, I mean, that's just gorgeous. This is a really easy plant to grow. It's usually fairly easy to find, and I don't remember it being terribly expensive. Matter of fact, this one came from Gabriella Plants from their website. And this is Hoya deykeae. Next up has to be Hoya crassipediolata. Now, crassipediolata is native to Vietnam. It was first collected in 2016 in Dien Bien province, Ha La Chu village, at a height of 1,100 to 1,400 meters. And it was first published in 2017 in Torzaninoia by Leonid Vladimirovich Avaryanov, Van Te Pham, and Tuan An Le. And yeah, I mean, that ticks all the boxes, right? Okay, maybe they're not huge veiny leaves. You know, and size isn't everything. But from petiole to tip, we are looking at about 4 3/4 or 12 centimeters. So yeah, I think this could qualify. And that's just beautiful. It has been, it's not in bloom now, but it has been blooming up a storm for the last several months. It took a little bit to get established. And it's got a good, healthy root system. And once it was established, once it decided that it was getting everything it needed, it just took off. I mean, this is what was like the new, you know, first flush of growth. And then this is everything that happened afterwards. And that's just very pretty. I mean, how can you not? You know, if you don't think you can handle something that'll get as large as that late Chang forest or the globulosa, you know, this is a good possibility. Again, for me, no trauma, no drama, no issues. As long as I stay on top of the watering, and there's a lot of leaves here, so it is on the thirsty side. But I can count, just sitting here, I can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 peduncles. There's a new vine, which I had to sort of, you know, wrangle out of the shelves. Okay, we'll have a talk later. I will fix it. Don't get huffy with me. It's done really well. It's been no difficulty. And it's pretty. I mean, and it's pretty. So what more do you want? I'm really happy with this one. This one came from the Planted Veteran on Etsy, and this is Hoya crassipediolata. And the question for the comments this week is, what's your favorite big veiny one? What kind of leaf do you like? Is it long and narrow? Is it got some girth to it? Which one just hits that spot for you? And is there one that I have missed? I mean, I'm sure there's several that I have missed. I haven't tried all the big veiny ones there are. But yeah, put it in the comments below. Let me know which big veiny one is your favorite or which one I should check out. And as always, I want to thank you for choosing to spend some of your time with me this week's end. Please remember to give this video a thumbs up, to subscribe to the channel, and click the notification bell. They all help the channel grow. A lot of the products that you've seen me use are available through my Amazon storefront. I receive a small commission on the sales, but it doesn't increase your price whatsoever, and there's a link in the description. If you're in the market for grow lights, I've been using some new Sansi lights lately, very happy with them. There's a link in the description to the Sansi LED website. I receive a small commission on the sales from the website, and you, if you use my code, PLANTEDINRI, during checkout, receive a 32% discount. If you'd like to support the channel, there's a link in the description to my Buy Me a Coffee page, or there's a thanks button down here, and YouTube handles everything for the super thanks button. As usual, I'm going to put links to a couple more videos over here on the side, and please enjoy the rest of your week's end.